Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. Now, this one has had a hell of a lot of build up to it. I mean, they're trying to act like Rhea Ripley not going to be in the match. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Let's be honest here, people. Come on now. What do you think, Squeedo?
In terms of what, just the match overall, or them not confirming Rhea for it yet? I mean, or at least seemingly making it seem like she's not in it yet.
Let's talk about build-up first. Let's talk about build-up first. Let's talk about the fact that they have been going back and forth for the longest time. They keep playing the Io Sky will not be overlooked card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the word? I have so much credit to give for Rhea Ripley losing the title on a random Raw show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That is just such a great move, because now it's, once again, it's adding to that era of you have no idea what the fuck is going to happen on Raw. Stay tuned, you know? My God.
Yeah, this build has been, in my opinion, the most unpredictable one so far. In the sense that it didn't seem like this match was going to happen at all.
Yep.
Like, it really felt like they were building to another Rhea versus Bianca. Liv Morgan match.
Right. Oh, Liv. Yeah, you're right. Because of how good she was on the Chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Bianca wins the Chamber. And then it's, oh, shit. Okay, so we're getting Bianca versus Rhea. But then Rhea still has to defend her title against Io the night after Elimination Chamber. And Io fucking wins it. What kind of build is this? Like, it's it's insane.
Because usually, like you said, usually they're trying to keep the fucking wrestlers on the thing so they can build it up as long as possible. Here, it's like all these guys are stars. We all know they're good. That's what it is, right? These guys are safe bets, no matter what.
Yeah, these are Triple H's 3 favorites.
Exactly. These are your best bets. So he's just throwing them all in. It's like, fucking go for it, you know?
Yeah.
You think Liv Morgan and what's the other one? Raquel Rodriguez, you think they're going to defend their tag titles at Mania?
They definitely have to be at Mania. Especially Liv Morgan has to be at Mania somehow. I mean, with the year she's had, she's probably the best on the roster in like the past year.
No, currently.
Like, carried the women's division.
100%.
So her not being on Mania, I think, would just be a big slap in the face to how well she's been doing so far. That's why I was surprised that it's like we're getting this triple threat and Liv Morgan's not in it.
I 100% agree with that. I find it ridiculous that Liv Morgan is in the main event scene, right? But I also find it, what's the word? But I also see why. You know what I mean? It's like, this is Bianca. This is Bianca Belair. This is Io. This is Rhea. All a triple threat. Like, this is a very unique and very cool match to do. And plus, what's the word? How are they not going to have Rhea in the main event scene, right? With how over she is. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, I think the reason why Liv isn't here is mainly because of the fact that, well, Rhea's here, I'm not saying that like, oh, WWE's keeping her down. It's like, no, she's in over there, boosting up Raquel, defending the tag team titles, boosting up other, like, she's in a very privileged position. It's not about the belt, guys. You know what I mean? She's in a very privileged position right now, and that's because of all her fucking hard work. Liv Morgan has been delivering every match she's been in, just ridiculously good, you know? Yeah. So, what's the word? Overall, when it comes to this match in particular, I'm very excited. I think that they are going to cash in an absolute classic here. I think that Bianca and Belair are going to be going crazy at each other, and Io Sky's just going to be jumping at people from the top rope the entire match. It's going to be fucking awesome, you know?
Yeah.
I just hope that it's not too sloppy. Triple threats tend to be that way. I mean, triple threats or fatals, But I also believe that with this new regime, a lot of these matches feel a lot more well rehearsed. You know what I mean? A lot more well planned out. The spots don't feel as random as they used to. Like, it all seems pretty well planned. So I have a lot of faith that this match is going to deliver, especially because it's Mania. That's the time you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's interesting, too, because they're really just slamming a few dream matches together. Like, Rhea and Bianca have not come face-to-face at all on the main roster one-on-one. Not since NXT have they had a match together. And then you have Io and Rhea, who are friends in real life, haven't really had a match on the main roster. They had a few matches in NXT, and Io won, like, every single one of them. And then Io and Bianca are I've seen people call them wrestling soulmates, and the fact that every time they're in the ring together, they put on a 5-star classic. So it's just you're putting all these women together, and it's a recipe for like possibly match of the night.
Yeah,
I think no matter what, night 1, night 2, this could definitely be match of the night at WrestleMania. And for me, Rhea stolen the show before. Her versus Charlotte, WrestleMania 39. That's my favorite match of that WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. That match is a banger. And then Io, she's just one of my favorites in the entire roster. Men or women, Io Sky is one of my favorite in-ring performers. She's just amazing. And Bianca Belair, talented as fuck. She was the face of the women's division basically when I started getting back into watching wrestling. So I'm glad to see her back in the main event scene. I feel like she was kind of brought down a little bit when they put her in the tag division, but I'm glad she's in the main event scene and she's getting the spotlight that she absolutely deserves.
You know what's crazy to me is that she was on even though she was in the tag division, she was on the front of everything. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was that demographic. You know what I mean? It was the perfect. She was always in the perfect place holding part there. So even then, even when she was in the tag division, she was still the face of a lot of WWE stuff. And that's not just because of demographic. That's because she's ridiculously talented. She's got a cool gimmick. I mean, let me tell you, that hair thing, ain't nobody else can do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Yeah, not only that, but she's got that walkout music with all that charisma. I mean, forget it. She's the perfect package. She's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
you gotta love Bianca Belair.
Damn right. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? That's the same thing. Same goes for Io. Let me double and second that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Io Sky is, like I said, if it wasn't for Liv Morgan, would be the baddest motherfucker on the women's roster right now. That's it. You know, Liv Morgan just gets that spot because she's been pulling. I think mainly because of like how different it is now that she's no longer going up against Rhea every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, my God, it's like, wow, that was. I said this once, and there's no disrespect to Rhea. I just feel like the booking wise, the whole Rhea booking thing was holding Liv back a lot. You can tell the difference. You know what I mean? My God.
Yeah, I mean, Liv shined at, what was it, Crown Jewel last year when they were doing champion versus champion. Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. Liv, she was carrying that feud.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, just put a spotlight on Liv, put a mic in her hand, put her in the ring. You're gonna get peak every time.
Listen, I don't know if carry is the right word for Nia. I dragged, maybe. You know what I mean? Wheeled, carted.
Just everything under the sun.
Levitated. I don't know. Can she do that? I think she got powers, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she lured her with like a steaming hot dog. All right, I'm done. All right, we're good. Extra mustard. Hold the mayo. Yeah. All right. Next.
All right. We didn't say who you think was gonna win.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It literally could go any direction. I don't think it'll be Rhea. That's what I do know.
No.
I think Bianca wins. Because then it would be a good segue for Jade.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And I think Rhea has to lose.
Absolutely.
For her character. Because that one promo that they put on social media from her backstage of her kind of needing to rediscover herself, she has to lose.
Goddamn
Otherwise,
right.
I think it just destroys like whatever character arc she's on now. And I think I wrote this down. I think it'd make an interesting trilogy. And you have WrestleMania 39 where Rhea won the title against Charlotte. WrestleMania 40, Rhea walked in as champion and retained against Becky Lynch. And then you have 41 where Rhea goes after the title once again, but she loses. So you have win, retain, and lose. And I think that'd just be such an interesting character journey for Rhea Ripley to have where, who knows what they do with her afterwards. Maybe she goes on a journey of rediscovery, maybe a heel turn. I don't know. There's a lot they could do with Rhea after Mania, but I think she's the least likely to win. Definitely losing.
Yeah, I don't think she wins.
And then
either.
for Io, I don't think Io wins either.
No.
I think Io, for the second year in a row, is walking into WrestleMania as champion. but she's not leaving with the belt.
Right.
And I don't really have any reasoning as to why. I just don't see her winning. I don't know why. I think Bianca definitely wins it. I think she needs the win. She hasn't had a major push, I feel, in a long, long time. And now she's a part of this interesting story with Jade Cargill and Naomi. I think if you put the belt on her and you put that storyline into the main event scene, you get something special on your hands. Can lead to, you know, Bianca versus Naomi, maybe Bianca versus Jade. You know, there's a lot you can do. And I think it just opens up the division completely, where if you have Bianca win, like, you can have so many fresh feuds that we haven't seen in a long time or ever. You know, so I think Bianca has to win it.
Yeah, I think so too. I do love Io as champion. Don't get me wrong, but Io did have it for an extremely long time in the past, and you also have to factor in that Io don't need the belt. She is ridiculously talented on her own. She puts over
she's
whoever.
Over regardless.
Yeah. And then you have Rhea, which I agree shouldn't win, mainly because it goes against her arc. And Bianca, there's just way too much opportunity to turn down. So I'd say Bianca wins.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up about Rhea Ripley is that you were talking about how, you know, it would go against her promo that she cut in that back room one day. I was thinking that if she loses, she needs to lose herself. You know what I mean? She needs to, I want her to go away for a while. I'm not sure how it's going to go. But a rough sketch of how she comes back is I want her to be the fucking phenom. And what I mean by the phenom is I basically want her to be like a dark version of herself, Take No Prison or something like that. And I feel like the best comparison for me to draw is when Rhea Ripley came back with that mask after she broke her face in that parking lot.
Yeah.
When she came in that day and she just walked in and yelled War Games and fucking headbutt Liv like that. That's the Rhea I need.
Take no prisoners.
I need the Rhea. I need that Rhea that's brutal, that's shocking, that doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I need that Rhea. No more corny mommy. No more whatever. Yeah. I needed to come in there and be the baddest motherfucker alive. All right? Because guess what? A lot of the wrestlers that pull that I'm the baddest person alive gimmick don't have really good mic skills or kind of any good mic skills. But Rhea has been really working on that fucking what's the word? I've been really working on her mic stuff. I don't really like her, but I don't really like her bragging. But when it comes to aggression, she's got it, man. And I'm telling you, they harness that and make her that no prisoners badass, that female Fatu, it's over. It's over. She starts pulling up in a shiesty, it's over. You know?
So do you think they turn her heel?
You know, it depends, right? It's like, it really just depends on who she goes. I feel like heel would definitely be the best way to go. She just comes back and just doesn't give a fuck, starts just hurting everybody who's wronged her. She can be Kane, you know what I mean? She can be, she's you know, she's going down the hit list, you know what I mean? Just a bunch of backstage like cuts where like, damn, people are being found all over, you know, but oh my god, she's injured. Like how Jade Cargill got found, you got to start finding everyone else just like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, who is doing this? And then during like a big main event for the belt, you just hear the music come on after like months. It's like, oh my god, she's back, you know? And then she just comes in. She doesn't try to talk to anybody. She doesn't. No. She just destroys everyone's in the ring and then leaves. She doesn't say shit. That's it. You know, like I just need that. You know what I mean? I need that aggression that I'm not here to play around anymore. That kind of thing. And so she can pull something like that off. You know. Of course, maybe you could throw in a bit more charisma. Maybe you can throw in the fact that she's heel or face, but something along the lines of she comes back extremely aggressive and not nowhere near as braggy as she once was. I think that will go really, really well with her character arc. I think so.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I'd see it.
Yeah, I'd see it too.
All right. Was there anything else?
I didn't really have anything else.
Peak Cinema.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else.
Next.